And we had this whirlwind romance, and I knew that I was going to continue dating him. He said to me, I want to date you in our marriage. And I said, well, let me think about that, because you know what? You're absolutely right.
Your body was popping. And I remember Curtis was like, he was in love with you, girl. Would you ever think about getting back together with Mr. Curtis Jackson if he came? Instead,
well, Ben and Jen did it again. Why not?
The more you talk, the more you start to realize there's always something with the men. And then you wake up and it's like, well, but now I want to be a stay-at-home wife and da-da-da-da. But you've had men. When do you ever start to look and say, maybe it's not the guys?
What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. Now, we're going to talk about everything that's been going on lately with LisaRaye as well as Vivica Fox, right? But I wanted to start this conversation off by saying, you know, a lot of women, whenever we have the conversation about hitting the wall, or, you know, women who think the grass is greener and it's really not.
And I will say this, had I not involved producers in my marriage, I probably would kind of still be married.
Women who make decisions off of impulse, women who live in regret. Like, a lot of women act like, you know, that is impossible for that to be a reality for any woman. Like, when you say, like, oh, you know, it's possible that whenever you leave this relationship or whenever you leave that marriage, that you might be in a state of regret. Like, you might regret that decision.
Don't want to be alone, you know. So when I'm going through these challenges, sometimes you want to go back.
Or if we have conversations saying that, like, oh, you know, you're divorcing this person, you should have probably tried to stay, or you should have probably tried to work that out, because maybe you're going to be spending a lot of time trying to chase and find that same person that you left in the relationship. So maybe, you know, there's not all these options that you think are out there. Whenever we have those conversations, women will call you bitter. They will say that you don't love your mom. Like, they will say everything besides the fact that, you know what, maybe you guys are right, or maybe that is true, that could be a possibility. They will run you left, right, and center before they agree with the fact that that might be some women's reality in life. Now, I want to be clear, you know, even though, you know, LisaRaye was a single mother before her claim to fame, you know, LisaRaye and Vivica Fox, they were still that girl, okay? In their time, in their prime, when they, you know, was up and coming, like, especially in Black Hollywood, they were absolutely that girl. They were casted for every role. They were the it girls, the hot girls, like, you know, so many people's celebrity crush. Don't get it twisted. We're very well aware of that. Though, of course, you know, as an adult, I definitely don't agree with, you know, how LisaRaye got her start, and how much that influenced a lot of younger women to take on, you know, the same exact, you know, what Diamond in the Players Club movie did as a career, although I don't agree with the level of influence it had.
That movie, Players Club, and my character Diamond put stripping and dancing back on the map. It made it cool. It made it acceptable.
That aside, talking about their face and being out there and people looking up to them and having them as the image of beauty, there's no reason for us to sit back and argue about that, okay? We all know that to be true. However, recently, both Vivica Fox and LisaRaye did 2 separate interviews in which they are constantly going back and talking about the men that they used to be with.
And we had this whirlwind romance, and I knew that I was going to continue dating him. He said to me, I want to date you in our marriage. And I said, well, let me think about that, because you know what? You're absolutely right.
your body was popping. And I remember Curtis was like, he was in love with you, girl. Would you ever think about getting back together with Mr. Curtis Jackson if he came? Instead,
well, Ben and Jen did it again. Why not?
So throughout this conversation, I'm going to go back and forth and give you guys my opinions on both of these situations. We could have had 2 separate conversations, but it made no sense because it is so similar, and it's such a coincidence that the 2 of them have, you know, constantly been friends throughout the years within the industry, and that this is the result for these 2 women, again, who at one time were looked at as, again, the image of beauty. You know, every man wants them, and I don't know if it's that they thought that they were always going to have as many choices or the ability to pick, choose, and refuse. I don't know if they always thought that they were going to have the options that they did in their prime. I don't know if it's the fact that they were rejecting men that probably would have been their husband to this day, but because they thought that, who they were in their name, that they deserved better. And they left those men to the side and said, I'm going to go get with somebody else. I'm not 100% sure, but we're going to talk about it. And we're going to go ahead and start with an interview that LisaRaye did with Carlos King, again, talking about her marriage to the former president of Turks and Caicos.
And he said to me, can I come over to take you to dinner because you're not that far from Turks and Caicos Islands? I said, absolutely. I'm doing this week. Come on over, whatever. So he comes and he takes me and all my friends and my family to this restaurant. And my cousin said, girl, he didn't close down the restaurant for you. I said, oh, I like that. He should, absolutely, So I'm already, feeling like he got some style here.
Now, in this particular conversation, she was very adamant about the fact that, when she first got with this man, that he basically, wooed her and pulled out the red carpet and, did backflips and did all the above just to, basically try to convince her to be in a relationship with him when she was barely even feeling him like that.
He had a couple of housekeepers come out to serve us mimosas, for a welcome drink at his home. And we went outside in the back, which was the beach, while he changed into some cargo shorts and a t-shirt. We jumped in his Jeep and he playing rap music. I said, okay. And we get on his boat. And I said, this is going to be great.
So I find it kind of interesting because she said that, he wooed her. He was coming up for this position, allegedly, and he needed a wife to be in the role. And so although they were dating each other, he thought that, she would be best suited to be in that role, and that they got, together and got married very rapidly in a couple of months.
And I knew the setup is that he was a politician. And that it would look much better for the politician that's single to be married and to have a union and a partner. And what better way to do that than get the starlet from Hollywood to come and join you?
Now, where this conversation took a turn for me when I watched this interview is the fact that she was saying that, back then he said all the right things and that to this day he still says the right things.
And he said all the right things. And even today he says the right things when I talk to him.
Y'all still talk?
Oh, yeah, we do.
So I found it very interesting that she was so giddy about the way in which this man is charming and the way in which this man, acted with her and how he still acts to this day. But the fact that you are still in communication with this man, regardless of the fact that he stepped out of the marriage, regardless of the fact that he stepped out of the marriage with your friend.
And so with all of my friends and people that knew that I was now this new first lady of this country, when you come over there to seek out my husband or to even be turned on by him or propositioned by him, however way it go, you should do what any rightful person would do and go, oh, I don't want to get in the middle of this. This too much.
The fact that this man still has access to you to this day is very telling on the fact that maybe you are regretful of the fact that you did not stay within that marriage. And that's just my opinion, y'all. Y'all don't have to agree, but anytime somebody is, so forthcoming or willing to continuously talk about that situation, anytime somebody glamorizes the situation or the relationship that they were in, and they're in present tense and they're single and they're not with anybody, it says to me a lot of the times that they wish that they can go back in time, make a couple of different decisions, and still be within that situation. This is the same exact thing that we've seen with Tia. Okay, I know we're supposed to be talking about Lisa and Vivica, but I remember Tia Mowry did this. Tia was talking about how dating was and how, the men who are dating don't court women anymore. And, when she was with Corey, he courted her and he did all the right things and stuff like that. She's looking for Corey in new men.
My last relationship when dating was, when I was, dating this person, it was beautiful. It was amazing. It was wonderful. There was courting that was, involved. And I was saying how I feel like that's no longer, present, meaning like people just don't court each other anymore. And
you know who else did this? Erica Mena. Erica Mena said that Safari showered her with love, admiration, all these things. She's looking for Safari and other partners.
My ex-husband pulled up on me, found out where I lived, pulled up on me on a rented Phantom playing Sade, like out the music, like out the car and pulled up in front of my house and just stood there until I like realized he was outside the window because I wasn't answering his DM. Now that's the shit I like.
Now, let me just make this clear. Are you women saying that it makes more sense to leave what you already have, regardless of the situation? And again, if cheating is such a deal breaker for anybody and they walk away, that person can't call them back. So clearly, that was not the end all be all for her. I believe that maybe it was just the proximity of him doing it. But you mean to tell me that you are out here still searching for love, still wishing that you had a relationship, still wishing that you had somebody, and you still giving this man the opportunity to speak with you on the phone, and you're not regretful, or you don't think twice sometimes about if you should have just kept things under wrapped and worked it out? Instead of doing what the sisterhood would pressure you to do or influence you to do?
And now looking back in hindsight, looking at what these young ladies do today, I set the mark for them.
LisaRaye, mother McCoy.
Yeah.
You taught these girls how to get flued out.
Hello now.
You are the original baddie.
This is the same exact situation that happens, though different, right? Because LisaRaye was actually, this man, courted her. They had an understanding when the two of them got together. He married her. They were married for a couple of years. Like, they did the whole shebang. Now, Vivica Fox, on the other hand, I remember one time I did a reaction to something that Vivica Fox said, some interview that she did. And, the way that Vivica Fox talks, I thought I was tripping. I was under the impression that they had been together for a long time. I'm like, yeah, they were together for a long time, weren't they? Went back in time and realized they was only together for for this moment in time. It was fleeting. And the level of impact that he's made on this woman to where she is still constantly, everywhere she goes, having this conversation and talking about this man, again, says that she's living in regret.
I've said this many times before. 50 Cent was the love of my life. He was the one that, dang, kind of blew that one. Happens. I was young.
I have to scratch on this one, okay? Because the fact that she said, that when they were dating, that she was young, that's what really gets me. That's what really gets me. Now, I'm not going to say that, a certain age is technically old, because I believe that, the age in which you resonate with is how you feel and how limber you are and your ability to be able to function and move. So I'm not going to say that, but 39, I would not say that you were super young and naive and didn't know what you was doing. I'm not going to say that. Okay. Maybe if you was, anywhere before 25, we can have a different conversation. But to say, I don't know. I couldn't fit into the mold because, I was young, and you were 39 is crazy to say.
Had been used to taking care of myself. 50 wanted me to be his princess, and I didn't get it.
Now, one thing that I can respect from Vivica Fox, though, is the fact that she openly said that she regrets it. A lot of people like to dance around the fact that they regret that, it didn't work out. A lot of people like to dance around the fact that, yes, men too can also be the one that got away. A lot of women like to prance around and act like, they'll be loud and wrong, right? They'll be arrogant and egotistical in the fact that they know that they're the one who messed up the situation and it didn't go the way that they thought it would. Like, a lot of women do that. So I want to say I do give her props for being authentic in the fact that she was saying exactly what she's saying. Interestingly enough, in this exact interview, the person who seems to be interviewing her within this conversation is, in fact, ding, 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 LisaRaye.
Did you learn anything from that relationship?
Sure. Let a man be a man. That's the biggest lesson that I learned dating 50 Cent was that when a man wants to take care of you, let him.
Now, when I have these conversations on my platform, and some women, you don't like women, or you a mammy, pick me, all these kind of things. When I have these conversations, these are the reasons why I have these conversations. Because there are some women who are at the brink of messing it up. Okay? And there are women for sure who live in regret for all their days. I'm just going to be honest. Women who think there's better, they good, better, best. They are with their best, but they believe that their best is actually at the good level and that they're going to be able to find best again. And that's not the reality.
I don't want to stress you out by trying to keep up with my lifestyle that I already have and am accustomed to. Why? Because if I'm going to these restaurants just for lunch meetings and it takes you your whole check to take me there, I don't want to stress you out. You cannot hang with me. You are still wanting a vacation for the weekend. I vacation and go on holiday for the month.
There are women who are older and single and still wishing upon a star.
Now in my womanhood, feeling comfortable saying I'm 60, not like, oh, don't say my age.
Because they missed the mark. These are the reasons why we have these conversations. These are the reasons why we talk about these things.
When I say a partner, I want someone that's going to be fun,
Yeah.
that's not intimidated by who and what I am,
Yes.
that likes to travel,
Yeah.
going to let me go shopping.
So that while you're in it, you can fix it. Or before you get into it, you have a certain mindset, knowing all the possibilities of everything that can happen and knowing if you are ready to take on this situation and all that comes along with it. Whether it's, disagreements, how to respectfully disagree, how to compromise, how to, be submissive in a relationship, how to lean into your femininity and draw away from your masculinity. Because in this exact interview, she proved the fact that when it comes to these boss chicks, that if they don't put that mindset down, they end up losing their relationship.
Did you learn anything from that relationship?
Sure, let a man be a man.
Now, again, I am going to remind everybody that she was with him for 3 months. Okay? And if you felt this way a million years later, after you were only with this man for 3 months, I can guarantee that you do feel like he's the one that got away. Now, I don't know if you feel like he's the one that got away because of how much progress and success he's been able to obtain even further than when he knew you, or if it's just a genuine connection that the two of you had and you feel like he's the one that got away.
If Vivica fight, you look, and the girls will be like, oh, you must have had some bomb. You must have been like this. Like, look, first of all, not after 14 years. No, not after 14 years. Okay? Because if a nigga showed up, told me you had some bomb after 14 years, 14 years? You be done called the police on called your brothers and told your brothers to jump. Told your man, go on downstairs, get that, he downstairs, I don't know what he's doing down there. All of this for no reason. You'd have been into all of this crazy. But the girls act like it ain't nothing when they do some shit like that. But if a guy do something like that, come on, you know what time it is. You were looking like something wrong with him, right? After 14 years?
That's up in the air, okay? Because sometimes women don't realize that you're the one that got away until you're out there and you're way more progressive than you were when you were in a relationship with them. And now they see the value in you. And so now you're the one that got away.
Oh, with Vivica.
She thought I was just saying this stuff like I was overzealous. Right. But I had really the plan, like the layout. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then
You had the vision.
And then she went off doing stuff that's because she didn't believe it. Like, and then it was like, yeah, I had to move away from that because it felt weird. Like, been on before me. You know? Okay. She was making me feel like a little boy. But
that's a conversation for a different day. But again, I think it's important that women realize that all these people who talk about, the conversations, I do believe that you need to vet properly, right? As a woman, you need to know who you're getting in a relationship. You need to spend time. You need to get past the representative stage. You got to date that same person for a minute so you can see them when they're happy, sad, angry, mad. You need to see them in all facets and know if you are compatible with this person before you jump into the deep end. I completely agree with that. But all these people who act like you have to wait until you're at this certain stage in life, all these women who are screaming that from the rooftops, it's because they want company in the fact that they don't got a man and you don't got a man. I believe that as a young woman, if you want marriage, you should be looking or be dating in that pursuit. Ain't no, 304 phase, ain't no we outside phase, ain't no selfish phase. You need to be dating in that pursuit. From you hear this video moving forward, all right? If you want a husband, you need to be dating in that pursuit. And also make sure that you are ready to be a wife. Not just the title or not just the wedding because it sounds good, but that you're actually ready to be a wife. What that entails, living with somebody else. Compromising. Not beating to your own drum, not doing your own thing, not so that the two of you are not having separate lives in one relationship. No, being able to actually form that bond and being one unit, one band, one sound. And again, all these boss chicks that you're hearing, a lot of them, if they were truly honest, would say that they are not happy with the fact that they did not fix, change, or, just as Vivica clearly said it, that they didn't, hang on to the one that got away. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts, your feelings, your opinions on this entire conversation. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.